Okay, hello YouTube. Just wanted to do a quick video on how to survive the summer here in Japan. As a Brit, today I think it's about 35 degrees, yeah, so as a Brit that's at least about 10 degrees more than anything that I'm ever used to, let alone comfortable with. Some of these tips are very obvious, especially if you've been here a long time, I'm sure. If you have been here a long time and can give me any more advice, then please do put it in the comments because I'm dying here. But just for people who might be preparing to come or it's the first time here and don't have a clue what to do, a couple of things that I found useful in the heat. So first of all, air conditioning. I'll tag a bit on at the end about air conditioning because it's a bit obvious. First of all, if you go to a normal Hyakuen shop, you can find these little neck scarves, and these are little coolant packets, so a couple of hours in the freezer or the fridge, and then you put it in your little scarf and wrap it around yourself like that. The reason I think these are absolutely vital is because when you're inside you can set your aircon, when you're outside everywhere else has aircon. When you go in to and from places, as soon as you step out the door you'll just be whacked with this killer heat. And having these on when you're walking from place to place, it really seems to help just keep your body a bit cooler. The other thing is that this leads into these bigger gel packs, and again these can be bought from any Hyakuen shops at about 70p. You can get bigger ones, and I found this is really useful. We use ours like kind of a hot water bottle but cold for bedtime. So it just helps to keep the bed nice and comfortable, cool it down a little bit while you're asleep. Wrap it in a towel so you don't stick to yourself. It's also useful if like my laptop starts getting too hot, I can just wrap it in a towel so it's a bit cooler and pop it underneath. And when I'm typing as well, so use it like a wrist rest, and then it's hitting the extremities of your wrist there, so that helps to keep your body a little bit cooler. So number 2, clothes and materials. First of all, you might just want to slap on shorts and a t-shirt, but one thing you can't really do without is a handkerchief. So I've got a Totoro Hanabi hanky, and that is because you will be doing this way more often than you feel comfortable with, but as your face sweats, you've just got to do something with it, so carry a hanky around. The other thing is these. Now, I don't know if other people sell them as well, but Uniqlo have a line called Airism, so it's just like a vest, but it's like a base layer material, so if you're familiar with winter sports you probably have thermal layers, and what that does is it helps to regulate your body temperature by wicking your sweat away from you and creating the chance for your body to breathe. So it seems kind of counterintuitive to put more clothes on, and it did take a little while to get used to this because it does feel hot to start with, but I wouldn't be without Airisms outside now, especially if you're going into work or you're going on a date or meeting up with people. You know, your clothes are just going to get covered in sweat straight away and start stinking, so if you've got an Airism on, that kind of takes care of all that for you and you still at least look presentable. So moving on, last simple tip is if you've got a bottle of drink, fill it up with water, stick it in the freezer, and you've got yourself another ice pack there. Personally I like the Coke bottles because of these grooves in them, so again if you want to use it as a wrist rest, that works quite well. But the ice will gradually drip down, meaning that you're not glugging down water, you're not going to make yourself ill, because in this kind of heat it's important to make sure that you keep yourself hydrated. Some of the drinks I noticed when I came over here, like especially if you go for the Pocari Sweats and things like that, if you glug them down too quick you'll just make yourself ill. So yeah, ice block, melts gradually so you can drink nice cold water little and often. Okay, so a little bit on air conditioners. Being from the UK, we don't really have air conditioning a lot apart from in some office units, so didn't really know what to do with one in the home at first. First temptation is to run in, whack it down real cold and sit like you're in a fridge. But we've read on a lot of websites and a lot of guides that you should really set your aircon to about 25 degrees. But there are some counterfacts to that where people have said if you actually set it around 5 or 6 degrees below the outside temperature, that's the optimal setting. Especially if you need to go out later in the day or anything like that, it helps you to adjust, so rather than just sitting in the cold you can kind of still be comfortable and save energy as well. The other thing, if it's your first time using an air conditioner, remember to shut the doors and windows of the room that you're in, because obviously the air will leak out, and this is another great way to save energy. Finally, the thing that makes Japan really unbearable for a lot of people in summer seems to be the humidity. So rather than just whacking the air conditioner on, consider using this setting here, and that's the dehumidify setting. You can often find that with the temperature a little higher, but with the dehumidity on, it just clears the air and stops you feeling all sticky and sweaty, so it's actually a lot more comfortable than just being cold. So yeah, just a couple of tips there that hopefully, if you hadn't thought of them yourself already, you'll find useful. Again, if you do have any more advice for me, that would be really appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you on the other side of summer.